An updated sketchbook. I begin with Gris, a masterpiece, a game capturing the 5 stages of grief, the concept of the inner child, the color red, the moon. The moon holds a symbolism of emotion. I have a theory. Like the gravitational pull the moon has on the ocean, it has similar effects for humans. We are all made of roughly 60% water, aren't we not? The color red, a very powerful color. I wanted to touch most paintings in this series, a string that links them together. I want to capture feelings of blurriness. Depression often feels like the world has begun to blur, fade, fizzle away. Feelings of loss, isolation. We have some images of gazebos, temples, a representation of safety, comfort, a visual comfort blanket. I explore feelings of sadness, isolation, fear, and how to depict a faceless illness. I start to think of how to show lack of color, lack of ability to feel joy, and I create the personification. From now on, I will call him the demon. Depression comes in tandem with anxiety. Anxiety is just fear disintegrating the body and the mind from the inside out. I play with the concept of botanical gardens, gazebos, a sanctuary that begins to crumble, fall away. I will get more into this in part 2. This piece is called ANHEDONIA. ANHEDONIA, a psychiatric term for the inability to feel pleasure. In this piece, the demon tangles himself to the girl, our protagonist, who we have already met in previous videos. She's being suffocated while simultaneously being dragged down. The ribbon flows. From the demon surrounding her, the lines captivating. The strong red holds power, emotion. The moon shines orange in the dark sky. The frail trees pull our attention back. Back to the demon whose stare haunts us with horrifying scarlet eyes. The first steps in the painting process always begin with inspiration in my sketchbook. I start with getting images and ideas from different sources around me. Life experience, books, movies, and even Pinterest. Then I collage and put together the images while writing what looks like chicken scratch down on paper. The goal is to get the ideas from out of my head and down onto paper. Then I begin with the painting. This painting did not begin with me just jumping in straight with oil paint on panel. It was more thought out. I start with an underpainting to set the mood and block out the major shapes. Composition was a very key component of this piece. I wanted to carry the eye around the painting to tell a visual story. The more you view the piece, the more information you'll receive. The color palette, I wanted it to be cool, and the red to be the pop that you cannot miss. It's literally staring you in the face. Color palette plays such an important role in the atmosphere of a painting. If you notice her under the cloth, she has shades of purple and pale peach. She still has life, but the coolness is starting to seize her. My brushstrokes are looser in the background, while her figures are much crisper, drawing our attention to them. The wet, taut fabric I painted using large blocks of values, refining it further and further until I was able to get something that resembles fabric. Remember, in moments like wet fabric or glass, things that appear visually complex, if you break it down to shapes and then draw what you see in front of you instead of what you think you're seeing, you'll be surprised at the outcome. Of course, this takes practice to get right, but once you realize how much information the brain fills in for us, you'll start to see the world around you differently. I also wanted to share something that I found during my inspiration process. I found this chart on Pinterest depicting the composition and figurative art and how to create balance within an image. I'm a very visual learner, and this helped explain it to me in a way that no art professor was able to previously. I wish I knew who to credit this graph to, but I was unable to find the original author. I have this chart printed in my studio now, and it really helps take you through the steps of the importance of a piece and how to play around with them. It goes over abstraction, dynamic, colors, lighting, semantics, symbolism, and detail, and how to balance them, as well as why some work becomes unsuccessful if the balance falls off. For the next few moments, I allow you to see the detailing of the piece visually. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. After completing ANHEDONIA, I was drained mentally. I developed an emotional connection with my work, and painting such dark topics is really exhausting. It's revisiting old wounds. I was lucky enough to have a small trip booked for Florida, where I'll be able to relax and unwind and feel the warm sunshine rejuvenating the mind and body. To be continued.